Hey YouTube, welcome to Trevor's Vinyl World. So the band Soundgarden had been around since 1984, and they didn't actually release their first major debut album on a major record label until 1989. That was called Louder Than Love. Well, then in like late 1990, Chris Cornell put together a supergroup, and it was basically to honor his friend and former roommate, Andrew Wood, who passed away. Andrew Wood was the lead singer of a band called Mother Love Bone, and basically Chris Cornell got this group together, which was a couple people from Mother Love Bone, like I want to say Jeff Ament, and then the other guy, I want to say Stone Gossard. Hope I'm not butchering their names. But anyways, you had those two guys. You had Chris Cornell. You had a guitarist from Pearl Jam, Mike McGready. And then you had like a drummer from Soundgarden, another Mike Cameron. And then you had a guy that was auditioning to be in Pearl Jam named Eddie Vedder. And he just happened to be at the studio when Chris Cornell was, making some of these songs, making the album. Temple of the Dog was the name of this supergroup that Chris Cornell put together. And basically they just released one album in their whole time. But Eddie Vedder just happened to be there because he basically was auditioning for Pearl Jam. Well, Chris Cornell was struggling with this song called Hunger Strike. And, it's a song that even to this day, if you turn on a radio and it plays any kind of alternative rock or, rock from the 90s, it's got this just really cool sound to it. And it's, like, I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. I mean, it's just like really cool song, amazing song. And it's just really cool that you have Chris Cornell, who's an iconic singer. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. But you have him basically doing this duet with a young Eddie Vedder, an unproven Eddie Vedder, who, I mean, this is like his coming out party right here. And this is pre-internet, so I think a lot of people didn't even know that it's Eddie Vedder on this for years, because, the song starts off with Chris Cornell, and it isn't real obvious when Eddie Vedder sings that he's totally a different person. And there's a music video for this too, with a really cool like lighthouse and just a lot of cool imagery. But no, just an amazing, like, that this came together the way that it did. I mean, just almost like not dumb luck, but it just, some things just work out in a perfect way. And I think this whole Temple of the Dog project was just one of those things that everything fell into place, and they were able to, honor their friend, Andrew Wood. And it's just kind of an iconic piece of music history. This one moment in time where Temple of the Dog was a super group of a mixture of Mother Love Bone, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, just elements from each one, and introducing Eddie Vedder. I mean, just a really cool thing when you think about it. And and even to this day, like it's just I like that Pearl Jam is still going strong. Um, you know, Chris Cornell is gone. Kurt Cobain is gone. You know, Pearl Jam is one of the last, like, kind of surviving. You know, not that they haven't. I mean, I think they've moved on from their grunge days. Um, but anyways, I just you know, this whole Temple of the Dog little moment I thought was really cool, and yeah, so just leave it at that, I guess. I did find it interesting that oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it just kind of all seemed to almost be meant to be the way that it came together. And no matter what kind of music you are into, I think that there were certain bands that in the 90s, they just sort of definitely made their mark. And you can say that, you know, obviously Pearl Jam and Soundgarden were definitely two of those. And then if it wasn't for groups like, you know, Mother Love Bone and the Pixies, you know, I mean, there's so many bands that kind of came before, like Pearl Jams and Nirvana, that kind of set the precedent. I know, like even Nirvana would say that a lot of their music is kind of like the same idea as the Pixies. And you know, the Pixies never got any kind of like real national attention. They kind of have a cult following nowadays, just because people have learned that, you know, like Nirvana was sort of influenced by them. And I think with these bands, you know, like Soundgarden, obviously they probably took some influence from bands like Mother Love Bone and all that. So anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting. um it took me a while, like when I was growing up, I guess for some reason I wasn't a huge Soundgarden fan. And now that I've gone back and listened to a lot of it, it's like I don't know what I was thinking. I really like a lot of the Soundgarden songs from back in the day. And yeah, so not much else on my mind, I guess. I just was thinking about that. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, sorry, my allergies have been kind of bugging me lately. But anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, if you want to let me know in the comments, like you know, what's your favorite, like either Soundgarden or Pearl Jam or any of these bands I just mentioned in this video. You know, what is a favorite song of yours? Or like, you know, do you remember this Temple of the Dog time? What are your thoughts on it, or anything else you have on your mind? So hope everyone is doing good, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk at you later. Thanks.